Hello, everybody. It's Jim Capuano and TJ Troop coming to you this week as we roll into Week 11 of the college football season. This is the College Football Podcast brought to you by collegepressbox.com and sponsored by Cheez-It and Pop-Tarts. With me, as always, my friend, my compadre, my partner in crime, a football expert, a coach, a student of the game, lover of the game, player of the game, teacher of the game, TJ Troop. TJ, say hello and how you doing today?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm doing really well as we are basically at the midpoint in the NFL, and we're starting to head towards the home stretch here for college.
Yes, sir, we sure are. And speaking of heading to the home stretch, let's talk about the Clemson-Duke game last week, where Clemson was like a thoroughbred running down, spinning out of the turn, as Phil George F. used to say at Arlington Park, heading down the stretch run up 45-44 against Duke, who is our recipient of this week's Cheez-It Crunch Time Play of the Week. And Clemson was not able to hold on for the victory. Duke ran them down like Secretariat ran down Man of War in their duel race. Remember that, TJ, back in the day?
Yes. You mean Seabiscuit?
Seabiscuit. I'm sorry. Seabiscuit ran down Man of War. I'm sorry. Yeah, Secretariat. We're way off in the weeds, but we'll go here. Did Secretariat also have he never had a match race, did he?
No, he did not. And of course, when you watch in that terrific movie on him, Sham ran really well. But after the first two defeats, he tries them again in the Belmont, and I think the horse probably had to go to horsey therapy because of what Secretariat did to him.
Yeah, Secretariat
in the Belmont.
Yeah, Secretariat was a beast. But did I get at least the match race right? Was it?
Yes, it was Seabiscuit, and again a tremendous horse racing movie, really entertaining.
Yeah,
and captured what the Depression was about.
Yeah, that book was phenomenal. That was the first book I read by Laura Hildebrand, I believe. Is that correct? Is that her name?
Yes. And boy, did she talk about posting a victory. She nailed that one.
Yeah, man, beautiful. Yeah, it was great. The whole train tour with the horse. I mean, if it wasn't fact, I would have thought it was fiction. You know what I mean? So
exactly, absolutely.
All right, well, let's get back to fact here that Duke is the winner of this week's Crunch Time Play of the Week, and this was a 2-point conversion that got the job done for the Blue Devils. We're going to bring up the video here. It's just a short 17-second clip. This is to put the Blue Devils in front on the road at Death Valley.
Snap to Mensah. He'll push the pocket right. This is Hagens, and Duke leads. And with 40 seconds to go, it's 46-45.
How about the crowd reaction at Death Valley there, huh? It's nice. I don't blame them for booing, do you?
Absolutely. No. I mean, look at the season that Clemson has not had.
That's right. Yeah, not had. They have not even come close to living up to expectations, correct?
No.
But let's talk about the positive. What did you see on this play here, the pass play? What was your take on that?
Well, as you and I have discussed, Jim, and I shared early on when we were getting to know each other, all coaches need to teach perimeter defense. So the Duke quarterback's right-handed. We have Hagens going in motion to the right. Somebody has to take him. Mm-hmm. Look at where the ball is.
Yeah.
And when he runs the short little out pattern in the end zone, Dabo Sweeney might have been the closest guy to cover it. So it's got to be that quarterback is thinking, oh my gosh, don't let me throw this bad. I mean, he just flips it out there and it's caught. So obviously, from a coach's perspective, somebody didn't do their job. But let's go the other way. Maybe the Duke coaches saw on film this, and when they were down working on their red zone offense, they go, hey, if we need a play down here, this might be a real winner for us. So those are the things you'd love to have been on the practice field and see. So every credit to Duke. They roll the dice. They've got a very simplistic play, and it works very simply, and all the praises to them.
Yeah, really. And, the thing is, this kid, Darian Mensah, really came up clutch in that drive. It was a 94-yard, 11-play drive. He converted 2 third or fourth downs, so one each. Had a 56-yard pass to Hasley, and then finds Higgins for the what turned out to be the game-winning conversion. Earlier, Higgins had a kickoff return for a 100-yard touchdown. I mean, just a complete effort around the skill players of the Duke offense, especially in clutch time, right?
Absolutely. And years from now, when Higgins is talking to his grandchildren, he can tell them, I had a 100-yard kickoff return and caught the 2-point winning conversion in the game in Death Valley.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many people will believe him, but it sure is truth. What a highlight for him.
Yeah, what a great game. And that is the Cheez-It Crunch Time play of the week. There were many options to choose from, but I can't dispute this one. This is a fine victory for the Blue Devils that capped off it ended a 15 game losing streak at Clemson. So normally it's every other year, so that's but not always. So that's a long.
We're going back
streak.
a ways.
Yeah.
We're going back a ways.
Yeah, it's their first win at Death Valley since 1980. 1980. That's four generations. It's crazy. So anyway, they're in the hunt for the ACC crown. Duke not out of it. 4-1 in the conference, 5-3 overall. It's a long shot, but they got a shot. And that is our winning team of the week for the week 10 for the Crunch Time, Cheez-It Crunch Time play of the week. All right, TJ, let's talk about last week, week 10. What did you see? What did you like? Give us your observations.
Well, the game that I focused on, I did two. I'll go very briefly to Penn State against the Buckeyes.
Okay.
You got to admire Penn State for playing so hard and actually being in the game early. But during the second half, and I don't even need to discuss the different players other than the quarterback for Ohio State has sure put himself into the running for the Heisman this year. I mean, Ohio State is loaded. Unless they stumble and just have one of those ugly games, it is going to take a monumental effort to beat the Buckeyes. So all those Wolverine fans out there and all the other teams that are looking to win the national title, they may not want to hear this from me, but the Buckeyes are for real. I admire Penn State for how hard they played, but this was the Buckeyes all the way. It was almost boring in the second half watching Ohio State just pound on them.
Yeah, they did give them a game. I mean, Penn State showed up. They they never led in the game, but they did cut it just before halftime to a 3-point game.
Yeah, exactly. 17-14. It's like, and I mean, come on, all those people cheering for the Nittany Lions with their great history, they're just looking for this great second half. Well, sorry, boys.
Yeah, we see it. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's just we see all the time of teams coming back, pro and college level. But this one, the better team won.
Yeah, going away too, right? The second half was a totally different game, and it's almost I've seen this in the NFL a lot, especially with teams. I want to say the Ravens come to mind, where they're kind of sleepwalking through the first. Back when Lamar was healthy, going back last year, and where they would be expected to win. Maybe they're like a 10-point favorite, and they're up by 2, down by 4. They're just kind of lollygagging around. Then all of a sudden they kick it into gear, like in the fourth quarter for like 2 drives, where all of a sudden they're like, okay, let's show up here, and they win the game, but. Much to the chagrin of anyone who bets not covering the spread. So, but they didn't do what they were expected to do. Ohio State was like that in the first half, but I think you're right. I think it was more Penn State really giving them a game. But then ultimately their talent and their will to win just dominated. I mean, the second half was boring. I mean, the game was, you knew it was going to go the way it was going to go once you started watching it, right, in the second half?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So that allowed me to focus even more on the game that I was very excited to watch. After seeing, I won't say a lot, but enough of the Vanderbilt victory over Missouri, I was really excited. And when I prep for our podcast, I go to the early season or almost, the August training camp of who the teams list on their depth chart as being the starters on defense.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, I do it right before the game. So let me do Vandy first.
Okay.
They had basically their usual guys out there on defense. Now, I'm going to praise the one man who played very, very well for them. Miles Capers, number 29. They call him the Razor, but it's a combination defensive end outside linebacker. He had a real fine game for Vanderbilt. And their middle linebacker, he's okay. Langston Patterson's okay. But their secondary had a game where their secondary coach, I don't think he slept a wink. Anyone who's played football can relate what it's like to make a tackle, myself included.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, you can also relate those times you miss tackles. Well, the secondary for Vanderbilt had one of those games. I mean, it was an embarrassment. They have a player, and I'm not throwing him under the bus, but C.J. Hurd, number 8, missed tackle after tackle after tackle. I think he finished the game with 4.
Correct.
But at one point, he had none into the first 40 minutes of the game.
Wow.
He just was terrible. The only problem is his compadres in the secondary didn't help him hardly at all. I've got down here, missed tackle, missed tackle, missed tackle. So I'm not saying that the Texas runners and receivers aren't capable of making a move or running by somebody, but they sure got help from Vanderbilt's lack of any type of competitive effort in a game they absolutely had to win.
They definitely had to win that game. And yeah, C.J. Hurd, sophomore safety, good old number 8, had his first tackle with 10:33 to go in the third quarter.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. Because at that point, I mean, they were, Arch Manning, he had 33 passes, right? So he was definitely, winging the ball around, let's say, right? I mean, he was not not handing the ball off, throughout the first half after that injury he had last week. So, in fact, in the first half, he, let's see here. Yep, he threw the ball at least 15 times, it looks like by my count here. So I don't have the exact number, but it doesn't really matter. He was winging the ball, but yeah, he was on fire actually, Manning. He had a string of 10 complete passes in a row in the first half, and was sacked exactly 0 times. To your point about the lack of defense by Vanderbilt, by the Commodores.
Absolutely. And going to the flip side here, I'm going over the lineup. Well, there were some injuries and a handful of youngsters getting to play for Texas in the secondary that normally didn't get a lot of playing time, but they played just fine. I mean, none of them really stood out like, oh my God, this guy is really great, but they played fine. Anthony Hill, their Mike linebacker, he had a solid game, but by far, I mean, I have no problem praising young Mr. Manning. He has sure shown improvement. We know that eventually he is sure going to be a fine college quarterback. But the best player on the field by far on Saturday, and in Texas terminology, they call him the Buck, but he's basically an edge rusher, Colin Simmons. I don't know if he's an All-American, but wow, was I impressed. They didn't block. Vandy couldn't block him.
Huh.
So, and none of the rest of all of the rest of the Texas guys were solid. But, again, we have a game here where Texas is moving the ball down the field, and the defensive players for Texas, they're basically on the sideline sipping Gatorade going, go, Arch, go. So it basically put Texas still in the running, but we've got a long way to go. But it basically tells me that Vanderbilt has, I don't see them making the playoff with this loss.
Yeah, they have a little work to do. Let's take a look at Vandy's schedule coming up here to see what kind of gauntlet they got to run through here in the mighty SEC. They're home this Saturday against Auburn with their new coach after letting Hugh Freeze go, right? So,
right.
And then who do they have after that? Let's take a look here. They're home against the University of Kentucky. And then they go to Rocky Top to play Tennessee. And that is the end.
And that will be a challenge.
Yeah.
Oh, that will be a challenge.
That's a bit of a civil war down there, right? I mean, so.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be nice, though. It's good that game, I mean, I know it's a rivalry, but now it really means something for both because Tennessee had a tough, they've both got an interesting road ahead of them. So that game could really mean, that could be a de facto elimination game. It's possible. We'll see. We had one of those this last week. But we'll see. It's going to be, it's always fun in the SEC, right?
Absolutely. As we've talked in the past, you look at how many quality teams, and how many of them have winning records. It is, as we've talked, this is like the process of elimination game, or as you just mentioned so well, when Vandy plays Tennessee, besides the fact it's a rivalry, we know where the loser's headed.
That's right. Yeah, just to a bowl game somewhere else, bowl eligible.
Right.
So, DJ, thank you very much. Let's bring in this week's winner of the Pop-Tarts Crazy Good Team of the Week, and that is the SMU Mustangs here at Week 10, who knocked out the Miami Hurricanes with the home win for the Mustangs down in Dallas. From the coaching to the execution in the field, SMU just deserved this win. They are the Pop-Tarts Crazy Good Team of the Week. Interception by safety Ahmad Moses at the 1 yard line. This was a key victory for the Mustangs. It really it's something they could hang their hat on for this season. Talk to me about what you saw in this game for the Mustangs, TJ, and your takeaway on just the ACC in general.
Well, very briefly, I'm going to go to a personal point. When I was so fortunate to go to Fort Worth, Texas, and work on the movie 12 Mighty Orphans, I reached out to the head coaches at both SMU and TCU.
Okay.
Both men were very brief conversations. Both were so classy. I knew how busy they were, but I invited both of them to come out and just watch how we filmed 1938 high school football. They were both so gracious. And getting to know people in that area, the first thing that was shared with me that I had no idea is how much money is spent on those two programs. But we're going to talk more on SMU. They know what they are doing there. They have a very strong program, and as long as the money flows in and they can recruit, they are going to be contenders. I don't know to what level of contention, but they are there. And Kevin Jennings, the junior at quarterback, when I'm working on him, he is the main factor in their success.
Yeah.
When he has games where he's throwing touchdown passes and those interceptions, the Mustangs win. Here's a team that wins the game, and they only gain 23 yards rushing.
Wow.
How often does that happen in college football?
Crazy.
And, of course, Mr. Jennings would be the first to tell us that his senior receiver, Jordan Hudson, my gosh, did he have a ball game? And he looked very good from what I saw on film. And then, of course, you had already mentioned him. Moses, part of the Red Sea on defense. I mean, he had 2 interceptions at safety, and looking up his career, he is, the term we used to use, he is a ball hawk.
Yeah.
So they have positioned themselves for a run here in the league. Now, they have to win their last 3. There's just no way around it. And their coach, Lashley, he learned under Gus Malzahn. He has this up-tempo offense. They know what they're doing there. The question is, can they do it? But at least they're a team at this point. Here we are in November. They're a team to take a look at. And I've circled, and it's a little down the road, on November 22nd, Louisville plays SMU. And that will take me very briefly. When anyone goes online to read these writers, there are times, it's just word salad. I'm not learning anything. But at ESPN, there's a gentleman named Bill Conley.
Okay.
Boy, talk about a guy putting his butt out there. He's predicting who's going to make the brackets for the final 12. He's got it all broken down, really, really. So if you folks out there got a chance, read Mr. Conley's article. And it's a stunner because it's going to where I am this Saturday. He has Louisville making the final 12.
Wow.
Now, for all of us out there that actually are capitalists, yes, I am one of those, and pay their taxes each year, you have to have a tax man. Well, isn't it great when your tax man becomes your friend and is a season ticket holder? So Saturday night, I get to see Louisville play football in person. So I'm really excited about going to the game.
And who is your tax man? Is that your accountant that's taking you?
Yes. The man who does my taxes. Larry Riley is just the salt of the earth.
That's awesome. That is good.
Yeah.
You'll have a great time, I'm sure. That'll be awesome.
Absolutely. And it's a 7:30 game. You know what I mean? A little tailgate. It's all set up. But the game I'm going to watch is we're going to the Big 12 on Saturday afternoon. Jim, and I've got to see them play. They're one of the handful of undefeated teams. Let's watch and see what BYU has against Texas Tech.
That is going to be a tough game because that is a road game for the Cougars. And Texas Tech has got, you mentioned money. They're a highly funded organization, and they took care of business. Texas Tech did last week. What's your take on this game?
Well, I watched most of the second half of Arizona State when they were at home and knocked off Texas Tech. And again, it's not that Texas Tech played badly that day. Let's give the Sun Devils credit. They played terrific. Okay, how many losses does Texas Tech have at home? And the answer is none.
Right.
So as you stated, BYU is on the road. So we're going to find out how the Cougars can do playing a very tough team with just one loss.
Yeah.
Undefeated team against a one-loss team at noon.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be a fun game to watch. That's awesome. Great call out there. Yeah, that'll be great. The Big 12 is really interesting, and I think that's a very underrated conference. They put up really compelling matchups every week, very interesting football. So I'll be tuning in for that and enjoy that game, Louisville, this week. That'll be great. All right, let's talk about whatever else is on your mind, TJ. TJ writes for the Pro Football Journal. You can find that at nflfootballjournal.blogspot.com online. He's a weekly contributor to that, and he is a football expert both at the college and the pro level. What's on your mind? Anything regarding the pro football, NFL, TJ?
Well, I'm going to tie this together into the journal. So rather than go in depth, I'm just going to say I cover the passing of Bob Trumpy. Just left us at the age of 80. His book is really, really a good read. His background, and I thought he was even though he did win an award, I thought he was a very underrated analyst. He could be cryptic in his comments, but he was very honest, and he was a fine player.
Yep.
So I touch upon him with the Bengals. which will take me to Mike Brown. And right now, which is a house of cards, meaning the Bengal organization.
Okay.
I'm reading online who's staying, who's going. And, of course, that takes me very briefly to the game last Sunday.
Uh-huh.
Well, those of you that I've probably already figured out, I will be buried in navy blue and burnt orange. I am a Bear fan.
Okay.
And the Bengals roared back, and they scored 2 touchdowns. They have the lead. They have got this game won. So that last touchdown is, and I talk about it online, one of those plays that will be replayed over and over again from 2 different vantage points.
Okay.
The miracle for the Bears in winning and the abysmal disaster of what defense were the Bengals in, and is that their best effort in tackling a tight end going down the middle of the field. So I touch upon that. And finally, at the Journal, I lead to, on November the 9th, 1969, the 49ers played the Rams. And, of course, I have game film, and I have the play-by-play, and now, all these years later, in 2025 on November the 9th, the 49ers play the Rams.
Uh-huh.
For me, it is my favorite. Everybody has those rivalries they think are the best, and I would never tell anybody that who they believe is the best rivalry is wrong. But my favorite rivalry is when the 49ers play the Rams, probably because I saw so many of their games being in California all those years.
Uh-huh.
And I really go in depth in the story. So I touch upon the Bengals, Bob Trumpy, and then the 49ers and the Rams. So for those of you, I think you will enjoy it.
That's awesome. That's great. Yeah, that Bear game was a wild one. I mean, it was just a crazy finish, and I take it that you didn't think the Bengals secondary gave their best effort to tackle the Bears' rookie tight end as he was romping down the field.
The money in Cincinnati has been spent on the quarterback and the receivers, and they are well worth it. We have a revolving door at the safety position for the Bengals. And Battle and Stone were just not where they were supposed to be on that last play of the game. And I did not get at the age of 74, I did not get a phone call this morning asking me to come out of retirement and play safety for the Bengals.
Although
but
you would if you did,
young.
Right? If you did get that call,
well,
you'd be out there, strap on the pads and get out there, take somebody down, show them how it's done.
Well, I would sure give it an effort, but I'm not sure if they still have sundials that would time me in the 40s.
Yeah, I understand, but your point's well taken. I just feel like their defense has been overlooked, which is, I think, your point. And it's got to be a 360 effort, right? A full effort by everybody. And if you've got a rookie tight end romping down the field and you're kind of half-assing it, I question your will to win, right? That's what you're getting to.
Yeah. Especially, it's the last play of the game, and it's not that Loveland isn't a talent. And this was his breakout play.
Yeah.
And he was running like he was, going to feed the family. You love the effort. But at the same time, you can imagine, it's in Cincinnati. You can imagine the Bengal fans watching that play going, well, where are they?
Yeah.
And last quick point, I mentioned it in the Journal. Is it possible that this Bengal defense will allow 500 points this season?
Wow, that's something. TJ, this has been something too. Thank you very much. It's been a lively conversation. A lot of stuff to talk about. Appreciate you hanging in there with us, folks. And we will see you next week. Till then, take care of each other. Be well. So long, everybody.